case now of journalistic license that cost a newsman his job. A freelance photographer suspended by a major wire service for breaking the #1 rule of responsible reporting. CNN's Tim Lister has the story.
This is the photograph that launched 1,000 blogs. It shows the Beirut skyline shrouded in smoke. The caption reads, "Smoke billows from burning buildings destroyed during an overnight Israeli air raid." The photographer was Reuters freelancer Adnan Haj. But the plumes of smoke raised suspicions among bloggers, especially Charles Johnson of the site Little Green Footballs. He said smoke had been added to the image, probably using a Photoshop clone tool. Reuters pulled the photograph and posted the original on its website. The agency also disclosed it has learned that Adnan Haj doctored another photo last week, increasing the number of flares being fired by an Israeli F-16 from 1 to 3. It's now suspended Haj, whose recent work includes this front-page photograph in Saturday's New York Times. Reuters has also withdrawn all his photos from its database. Reuters said Haj had denied deliberately attempting to manipulate the Beirut image, saying he was trying to remove dust marks and that he'd made mistakes due to bad lighting conditions. It's not the first time that Charles Johnson, who edits the blog Little Green Footballs from Los Angeles, has claimed a scalp. 2 years ago, he examined documents used by CBS News in its reporting on President George W. Bush's service in the Texas National Guard. And he found the type style used proved they could not have been from 1972, as claimed. CBS eventually withdrew the report and fired its producer. Tim Lister, CNN, Atlanta.
All right, so the man who discovered the photo was a fake, web blogger Charles Johnson, joins me now live from Los Angeles. Charles, first of all, let's go through these two pictures, the original one and the one that was altered, and tell me what was done exactly.
Yes, well, if you see in the smoke plume at the upper left, you can see repeating patterns, sort of circular patterns.
Yeah,
it's repeated 3 times through that.
Mm-hmm. And it's darker as well.
Yes, that's right. Photoshop has a tool called the clone tool, which lets you basically make a copy of one section of an image and paste it into other places in the image, sort of like a rubber stamp. And that's what was done here. And as you can see in this image, there was also duplication of buildings. So basically, this photographer created an imaginary version of Beirut that did not really exist.
All right, but the photographer says that he didn't deliberately manipulate this photo, that he was basically trying to get some dust marks off of that. Do you not buy that side of the story?
I think that's a little bit straining credulity to say something like that, because how could you accidentally create an entire imaginary city? It seems to make no sense.
Got a point there. It seems like, though, this is what is interesting to me. The original photo, if we can put it back up, that in itself seems powerful enough. Why would someone even want to doctor it?
It's strange, isn't it? And even more than that, what's amazing to me is that an editor did not catch this before the picture hit the news wires.
Well, that was going to be my question to you. And looking at these two pictures, the original is the one that is on the right. Why do you think it is? I mean, because editors are there for a reason. You think they would have had the experience in the background to catch something if it's doctored.
Yeah.
Why is it that you, a blogger, is the person who caught it?
Well, I just happened to be the one. A reader of mine tipped me off to it, and I looked at the picture and instantly realized that it was a fake, because I have an extensive background in image manipulation software and web design and graphic design.
Well, we do want to let you know that Reuters did, as we mentioned, pull the picture, but they also issued this statement, and we're going to put it up, saying manipulating photographs in this way is entirely unacceptable and contrary to all the principles of consistently being held by Reuters throughout its long and distinguished history. My question to you is this. This photographer in question here not only has his photos been pulled of this particular picture, but others as well. Does he have a history of doctoring photos?
I don't know if he has a history of doctoring photos, but I think there were a number of questions raised about his participation in the Israeli bombing at Qana and possible staging of photos. Not doctoring exactly, but staging bodies so that they could be photographed for propaganda purposes. That's the consensus of opinion on the blogs that I read.
So with media being what it is and getting the information out there just as quickly as possible, is there a danger here of seeing more doctored photos, more fakes out there?
Absolutely, because you have to take into consideration that Hezbollah controls a lot of the pictures and a lot of the media that you see coming out of Lebanon. And so I think that real questions need to be raised about the source of these images, and especially when they use local photographers to get these images.
Well, you're one man. You caught this, but how can the rest of this be monitored? What needs to be done to prevent other fakes from getting out there?
I'm one man, but there's an entire army of blogs and blog readers out there, and we can count on an enormous amount of scrutiny of the mainstream media for these types of issues.
Do you think it's given a bad name to photographers everywhere?
I wouldn't say to photographers everywhere, but I think it's very questionable that this photo came out of Lebanon at a time that is very crucial in the history of the world. I think that really we need to cast a very skeptical eye.
All right. Charles Johnson, a blogger with greenfootballs.com. By the way, why is it called greenfootballs.com?
Oh, I can't tell you that.
It's a secret, huh? All right. Maybe
Thanks,
offline we'll find out. Thank you, Charles.